I am a single mother of 2 kids. Today, I want to talk to you guys about the things that suck about being a parent in Hawaii. As much as I hate to do it, I'm gonna keep it negative. Childcare costs. If you are a parent in Hawaii already, or if you are thinking about moving to Hawaii with your children, that is definitely something to consider. If we've got young ones who are preschool and under, are not able to go to elementary during the day, if you've got to work, you got to think about childcare. We have some of the highest childcare prices out there, which is kind of a reason why a lot of people here in Hawaii will use multi-generational family living situations to kind of combat that high cost of childcare. I know a lot of people, myself included, when I was married and we were having young kids at home, we had to weigh that option of, is it worth it for me to go back to work right now? Is my salary going to cover how much it's going to cost us to put our kids in childcare? And for a lot of people with the wage disparity here in Hawaii, the answer is no. There are a lot of families who will choose to have one parent that stays home because the cost of the childcare outweighs how much their paycheck would be when they're coming home. Another thing that I hate about being a parent in Hawaii, this is hard for me to say, but the schools. It's no secret that Hawaii's public school system is not top rated. A lot of times when you're a parent coming to Hawaii, that's one of the things that you kind of battle with in your head. Should I or should I not move to Hawaii? Sometimes when you're coming from the mainland, the school system here is going to be inferior to where you're coming from. If you want to send your kids to private schools, you can definitely do that here as well. I actually would be comfortable sending my kids to most of the public schools here. I have them in private school right now. I'm lucky enough to be able to do that. They're in a school that they love. It's in downtown Honolulu. School systems, not the best here. Definitely would be a con for a lot of people. In the same realm of schools, for myself anyway, because my kids go to school in town and I don't live in town, traffic. If you are a parent and you have kids who go to school in town, or if you are a parent and you have kids who do extracurricular activities, who stay later than the normal hour, and you're gonna get put into peak rush hour traffic. Traffic really sucks. I sit in traffic probably for an hour and a half on the way home every day right now since my daughter is doing sports after school. It's just par for the course. If you're a parent, your kid's doing stuff, you want to get them involved, you want them to go to good schools that are maybe in different areas from where you live. A parent is going to deal with sitting in traffic in order to have their kids do the fun things that they want to do. We kind of have less extracurricular type summer programs. If you're a parent and you're not a teacher, you still got to work during the summer. So a lot of people are like, oh my God, we got to get them into this program so that I can make sure I go to work. We have summer fun, which a lot of us local kids all went to growing up. I'm not even kidding you. It's really hard to get your kid in that, so research it. I have friends who sleep in the park and wait in line to get their kids registered for summer fun because the spaces are limited. It's very tough to get your kids in there, but it's kind of like one of the only things we have here as far as summer programs. So if your kids aren't in summer school or they're not doing summer fun, we have, 3 months off in the summertime where we got to kind of figure out what we're going to do with their kids. I know sometimes on the mainland we have sleepaway camp, space camp, we have summer programs. We get to send our kids to go have fun for 3 or 4 weeks, sometimes longer than that. We don't really have stuff like that here. It's a small island. There's not really anywhere to send our kids away to without it being too far away from us. Another thing that sucks about being a parent in Hawaii is vacation. Vacations are hard to take as a family here in Hawaii. Yes, of course, we live in a postcard. We live where you vacation. We get that, but it's not the same for us. In order for you to go on a vacation here, you have to pay to fly your entire family, your kids, pay for a car, pay for room and board. Planning a vacation is a lot more difficult when you're living in Hawaii and planning to go someplace else than it can be if you have the option of just taking a road trip someplace else, renting an RV, doing something cool like that. I wish I could do something like that, but I can't. Hawaii in general, but especially when you're a parent, the high cost of living. Groceries to feed those mouths, housing to put a roof over everybody's heads, those things are just kind of higher here. The disparity between cost of living and our wages here in Hawaii are pretty exorbitant. We're shopping at the sales. We're looking at what's $5 Friday got going on at Safeway. What's the My Ka'i reward for Foodland this week? So as a parent, when we're thinking about how we're gonna budget, we gotta budget a little bit more when it comes to housing and groceries. Another thing that's pretty crappy about being a parent in Hawaii is what do we do when it rains? We have a lack of indoor activities to do with our kids here. There are a few, but really though, when we got a big storm come through, we got really rainy, really, windy weekends, we don't really know what we're gonna do with ourselves. You can only go see so many movies. I mean, we've done Bishop Museum a couple times already since it's been, winter time here in Hawaii, but we don't really have like a lot of cool things to go to. We don't have all of the different museums, a bunch of different historical places to visit. One roller rink I think we have now, which we didn't have before. We have an ice skating rink here, but that just reopened. I think that probably closed like COVID time and hasn't been open since. Now it's open again. Hawaii is beautiful if you can be outside, but if you can't, there's not a lot we can do. If there is something that you can find to do with your kids indoors when it's not the best weather, you're spending a lot of money. All right, another thing, that kind of island fever isolation feeling. We got cooped up kids. Sometimes we got long breaks, long summers where they're not in summer fun, they're not in summer school. We don't really know what we're gonna do. Even local people who live here and love living here, we get island fever. Sometimes we wanna have a change of scenery. We're isolated, we're a bit further away on these islands in the middle of the ocean. Our friends and family have moved away. It can be isolating. You can feel separate from people and it can be difficult to get to them. So living here with your children, sometimes we get kind of stir crazy. We can feel isolated. I don't want to say trapped, but sometimes we want a change of scenery and it's just not easy to accomplish for us. Another thing that I worry about as a parent here in Hawaii, risk of kind of a narrower worldview that we can have living out here in isolation. I know the school my kids go to does a great job of like painting a broader view of the world for them. However, we do live here in Hawaii. A lot of people don't leave Hawaii until much later in their lives, or, sometimes never. That can be a beautiful thing, but at the same time, when our children do go out to college, go off and do great things, we just don't really know a lot about what's going on out in the world because we're way over here. Hear it on the news, but it doesn't super affect us because we're all the way over here. So we kind of live in this bubble. It's a really nice bubble to live in, but it is a bubble. I like to be careful of making sure that I'm letting my kids see what's going on in the world, letting them stay up to date with current events, making sure they're kind of not just focusing in on what's right in front of them, but kind of having a broader perspective, a broader lens, being mindful of the things that go on in the world so that it's not just here, us in this little tiny bubble that we exist in forever. This one may not be a super big deal for a lot of people, but I'm telling you as a parent, it really is. Christmas shopping, birthday shopping, shopping for any holidays or gifts here in Hawaii sucks. We don't have a lot of stores here. Last Christmas, my daughter had this one backpack she wanted. I called everywhere, Neiman Marcus, Nordstrom Rack, all of those places, Macy's, whatever. There was one left all the way in Ala Moana. What do you call it when it's like on the shelf, it was one of those like floor models or whatever. They didn't want to sell it to me because it was dirty. I'm like, I don't care. Just give me the thing. If you're like me and you are prone to procrastination, your best bet is probably to get things online, and please give yourself time for that item to ship to you, because you don't want to be like me, wrapping all the presents the night before Christmas or wrapping everything the day before their birthday, or not having the things that they wanted even though they gave you a list 2 months ago because you thought that you would be able to find it on island. So if you're a gift-giving parent, make sure you accommodate yourself enough time to get those gifts because it's not going to be easy to find them on this island. I'm a mom. You guys all know that. I got 2 kids at home. Currently, I'm a producing agent, a real estate agent. Anything that I care about, I'm obsessed with. That includes my kids, that includes my job. Sometimes the balance is hard. I used to be a stay-at-home mom. There was a time in my life, believe it or not, when I was a housewife and a stay-at-home mom. Now I'm a single working mom. As a single working mom, there are challenges. Hawaii has its own set of challenges, so I want to share that with you guys. In the end, I ranted and I complained a lot about how hard it is to be a parent in Hawaii, but I feel very grateful to be able to raise my kids here. There is a magic about being a parent here. There is a magic about growing up here in Hawaii that you really just can't get anywhere else. All of the things that I listed that I consider to be crappy, that I consider to be a headache, they're worth it to me in the end. There's no place else I'd rather raise my babies. I'm happy to be here. All right, guys, so this was another one from my series of things that I hate. Me being a whiner, me being a complainer. You can check out 11 things I hated about being an agent in Hawaii in 2022. Sorry to bother you with my complaints, but thank you for watching.